Welcome to this comprehensive tutorial on building command line tools with Cobra in Go. Cobra is one of the most popular libraries for creating powerful and professional command line interfaces in the Go programming language. Throughout this tutorial, you'll learn how to build applications that can handle commands, subcommands, and flags just like popular tools such as Docker, Kubernetes, and GitHub CLI. By the end of this session, you'll have all the knowledge needed to create your own sophisticated command line applications that provide excellent user experiences. Cobra is a powerful Go library specifically designed for creating modern command line interface applications. It provides a simple yet robust framework for building applications with commands, subcommands, and flags. What makes Cobra special is its ease of use, combined with powerful features. It automatically generates help documentation for your commands, supports nested subcommands for complex application structures, provides built-in flag support with both long and short forms, and creates an easy-to-understand command structure. Many popular tools like Docker, Kubernetes CLI, and GitHub CLI are built using Cobra, which demonstrates its reliability and effectiveness in real-world applications. Getting started with Cobra is straightforward. First, you need to initialize a new Go module for your project using the go mod init command followed by your application name. Once your module is set up, you can install Cobra using go get with the GitHub path, github.com/spf13/cobra at latest. After installation, Cobra provides a convenient command line tool called Cobra-CLI that helps you scaffold your project structure. You can use Cobra-CLI init to create the basic project structure, and Cobra-CLI add followed by a command name to generate new commands. This tooling makes it incredibly easy to get up and running with a well-structured Cobra application. Every Cobra application starts with a root command, which serves as the main entry point for your CLI tool. The root command is defined as a Cobra command struct with several important fields. The use field specifies how your command should be invoked, typically just your application name. The short field provides a brief description that appears in help output, while the long field allows for more detailed explanations. The run field contains a function that executes when the command is called. This function receives the command itself and any arguments passed to it. To make your application executable, you need an execute function that calls the execute method on your root command. If any errors occur during execution, the application should exit with a non-zero status code. Subcommands allow you to create hierarchical command structures, making your CLI applications more organized and user-friendly. Creating a subcommand follows the same pattern as the root command. You define a new Cobra command struct with use, short, and run fields. The use field for subcommands typically contains just the subcommand name, like serve or start. Once you've defined your subcommand, you need to attach it to its parent command using the add command method. This is typically done in an init function to ensure the command is registered when your package loads. With this structure, users can call your subcommand using your application name, followed by the subcommand name, creating intuitive command line interfaces. Flags are one of the most powerful features of Cobra, allowing users to customize command behavior through options. Cobra supports various types of flags, including integers, booleans, strings, and more. To define flags, you first declare variables to store the flag values, then use the flags method on your command to add them. The int_var_p method adds an integer flag, taking parameters for the variable reference, the long flag name, short flag name, default value, and description. Similarly, bool_var_p adds Boolean flags. The p suffix indicates support for both long and short forms, so users can use either --port or just -p. This flexibility makes your CLI tools more user-friendly and follows common command line conventions. Cobra provides two special types of flags that enhance your application's usability. Persistent flags are inherited by all subcommands, making them available throughout your entire command hierarchy. These are perfect for global configuration options, like config files, verbosity levels, or output formats. You define persistent flags using persistent flags instead of just flags on your root command. Required flags ensure that users provide essential information before your command can execute. After defining a flag normally, you use the mark flag required method with the flag name to make it mandatory. If users don't provide required flags, Cobra automatically shows an error message and the command's help information, preventing your command from running with incomplete data. Beyond flags, commands often need to accept positional arguments, and Cobra provides excellent support for argument validation. The args field in your command definition specifies validation rules for arguments. Cobra includes several built-in validators. No args ensures no arguments are provided. Exact args with a number requires exactly that many arguments. Minimum n args ensures at least a certain number of arguments, and maximum n args limits the maximum number. In your command's run function, arguments are available through the args slice parameter. You can access individual arguments by index, with the first argument at index 0. This argument validation happens automatically before your run function executes, ensuring your command receives properly validated input. Let's look at a complete example that brings together everything we've learned. This file manager application demonstrates a practical use of Cobra with multiple commands. The main function creates a root command called File Manager with a brief description. We then add two subcommands, list and create. The list command demonstrates working with the file system, reading the current directory and displaying all files. It uses the OS package's readdir function to get directory contents and iterates through them to print each file name. This example shows how simple it is to create functional CLI tools with Cobra, combining the command structure, subcommands, and real functionality into a cohesive application that users can immediately understand and use. As you build more sophisticated CLI applications with Cobra, following best practices will ensure your tools are professional and maintainable. Always provide clear, helpful command descriptions that explain what each command does and how to use it. Implement proper error handling throughout your application, providing meaningful error messages that help users understand what went wrong. Validate all user inputs to prevent unexpected behavior and crashes. Write unit tests for your commands to ensure they work correctly as your application grows. Looking ahead, there are many advanced features to explore. Configuration files allow users to set default values and preferences. Progress bars provide feedback during long-running operations. Colorized output makes your CLI more visually appealing and easier to read. Finally, learn how to build and distribute your applications so users can easily install and use your tools.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.